Hello Pisces. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. The Oracle card deck is a little different this week, and it can be debatable, I suppose. It's actually the Akashic Tarot by Sharon Ann Klingler and Sandra Ann Taylor. I feel like I use this more as an Oracle deck because it seems like it's loosely based on tarot, which is fine. It seems like it's more tarot inspired. But as we use it, if you're familiar with tarot, I think you'll see what I mean. Nothing against it. I do like the deck. Obviously, I'm using it. I just think it's a little different than it. I think it's a little different than an actual tarot deck. I think it's more oracle oriented. So, just in case you're wondering, why are you using two tarot decks? That's why. Okay. This is Pisces. Oh, this is real good for you. I'm already getting this. Sometimes they call them dark blessings. It's my dog. Who knows what he's whining about. Dark blessings are where things maybe don't look that good, but in hindsight, it's like what happened served you quite well. It's kind of like when when you lose a friend, but then 3 or 4 months down the road, you realize what they were really like and how they were throwing you under the bus the whole time you thought they were a friend, and you're like, oh, they really weren't a friend the whole time. So me losing that friend, I really didn't lose a friend. Actually, it's a better thing because they weren't the friend I thought they were. They weren't the friend to me that I was to them. Something like that. That's like a dark blessing. Something that needs to leave that maybe you're not willing to let leave at the time. Sometimes stuff like that. Now, when we're going into this situation, you've got the Ace of Wands with the Artisan. Is that the Artisan? The Master Artisan. Which to me, this tells me this is somebody who knows what they're doing. And also has the ability to move within and out a situation, kind of like, this is what I usually do, but I know how the rules work here. I can change this around if I want to. Will we stick to the plan, or will I make adjustments? It's really up to me because I know what I'm doing. And you're going into something knowing what you're doing. And I almost feel like you're going into a situation where you're like, I've done this a few times. There's some risks involved, but, I accept that. If something goes a little south or a little wrong, I accept that that's what I have to deal with. Fully well aware of what you're getting into. Sometimes it's like a real estate thing, kind of like, this looks good. I think I know what I'm going to do with it that's going to make it work out. But I also am very well aware of there are certain hidden pitfalls. You could hit bumps or problems. You just kind of have to roll with it. But usually when you get involved in those things, you're like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do well. You just accept that there's some factors that you can't plan for. So you're getting involved in this situation, whatever it is. For some of you, I feel like this is dating. Like you're dating somebody or some type of person, and you're just like, this one may not be the best, but maybe they are. There's some questionable things here, but I'm accepting that. I want to know more. I want to get into it a little more to see if that's really the truth. We'll see where it goes with that, because I am getting that. Like some of you are dating a person that's questionable. Like, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I am attracted to them. But I'm accepting that this could be a problem, and I want to find out more. If it gets worse, I get out. That's how it gets. That's just the energy. That's just the energy. And the Seven of Swords is telling me you're going forward with this, but see, this is the intelligence on your side. If you're worried about somebody, and if it is like a dating thing, and you're like, oh, I don't know about this person, and maybe you're afraid that, maybe they're controlling, or maybe they have some other problem, you're just not sure. You might be like, oh, okay, I'll go on a date with them, but I'll tell them where I'm going to meet them. I'll go in my own car, and I'll leave in my own car. I'll keep it open, like if we want to go somewhere afterwards, I'll leave it open that that's a possibility, but I'll have complete control that if I'm not happy or I don't feel like this is going the way I want it to, I can leave at any time. This person, I'm not stuck in a car. I'm not depending on them to take me home or bring me anywhere. And vice versa. I'm not picking them up and making it so I have to take them somewhere. We go in our separate cars. We're good if something goes weird. So you're planning it out. You're just kind of like you're not just like throwing caution to the wind. Like, yeah, this could go bad, but oh well, I'll give it a shot. It's not like that. It's kind of like this could go bad, so I'm going to do it this way for that reason. That way, if it goes well, things can keep going. If things don't go well, I have my easy out. No harm, no foul. Hopefully, everything has its risk. And I feel like you're doing this and you're creating boundaries and rules. I really hope you are. For those of you this is hitting, I feel like this is good because you're like, there's boundaries and there's rules, and I'll do it this way, I won't do it that way. And you're just putting it out there, and if they say, oh, that's unacceptable, they're like, that's kind of like, well, then I can't do this. And you seem to get your way. I don't think this is bad at this point, but I feel like it's a struggle. It is a little bit of a struggle, and I'm getting the Ten of Swords. It's almost like, I have to be honest, when I'm feeling this energy, it's kind of like, you put out the rules, they might push back a little bit, but then they accept your rules, and you're like, afterwards you're like, oh, you're kind of questioning if you really still want to do this now, because you're like, maybe these are bigger red flags than I actually thought they were. And I'm getting the King of Swords coming up here in the environment. Don't get caught up in the gender, but I'm getting like some pushback, but I do feel like you are succeeding. You're not backing down. The thing is, when I feel like the King of Swords is showing up here, not because of the gender, but because this is a person that expects to win. If you hold off the King, you're stronger than they thought you were. And I feel like I think that's what this is saying. By you holding off the King, you're showing the King you're stronger than they think you are. Okay, so the Ten of Swords here is telling me, like, you're not really sure if you like this. On the other hand, you're not really sure about how they're handling it. You're not really sure if you should keep going forward, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be dating. It could be like a financial situation, a work situation, so keep an open mind to that, whatever this is hitting for you. But you keep going with it, is what I'm also getting with the Queen of Pentacles. I'm getting this attitude of, I said I would do it, so I'm going to do it. That type of attitude. Like, I said these were the rules. I fought to make sure the rules stayed in place. They finally agreed. Now that I said I was going to do that, I feel like I need to uphold my end of the bargain. I just want to say, as a Pisces, unfortunately, I understand that, and I probably would do the same. When you step outside of the situation, I'm getting a very clear voice saying, if you don't feel comfortable, you should walk away. You don't owe anybody anything. So it's very weird. I feel like I'm in both camps at the same time, because as a Pisces, I can see myself going, well, I said I'd do it, so I'll do it. But I clearly hear this voice on the outside of me saying, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't owe anybody anything. You don't have to do anything. Just step away. You always have the right to change your mind. It's very weird in this moment. I feel like I'm like caught between two, because I can see myself going into that. So you don't owe anybody anything, but I feel if you're connecting the way I am, you're going along with it kind of like, well, I said I would do it, so I'm going to do it. And I'm also, with the two voices, I'm realizing, like, if I didn't feel comfortable, I should not be doing it. Like, you should walk away. If that could be like, especially if you're intuitive, it's like a part of your soul saying, don't do this. Don't do this. I don't know. If you're stubborn like I am, though, you got to learn life the hard way. Hopefully you're better than me at that, because I can see myself falling into that. This energy that you're dealing with, I feel like whatever you agree to doing and they back off with whatever, they agree to do it the way you want to do it, they do seem to follow your lead, but then all of a sudden they start to kind of, I feel like the conversation is turning. The way they talk to you or relate to you, the fact that you stand up to them, they have more respect for you, is what I'm getting. It's very weird. It's almost like in the beginning they feel like they're in control, they have to call the shots. Then when you stand up to them and you hold your ground, they take you more seriously. Very interesting to me. This is a change. I feel like you quickly notice the change here. They seem to look at you differently. They seem to treat you differently. The world is coming in with the Temperance, and I feel like you're soaking this in slowly, and you're trying to understand, like, where is this person coming from? Who are they really? Why did I have to push so hard to get them to take me seriously? And I feel like this is one of those things, I'm not saying it's fair, but it's like, if you're me anyway, you're kind of like, why didn't you just take me seriously to start with? Why did I have to fight for it? Like, we're just getting to know each other. Like, if I have to fight to be heard in the beginning, I don't like that. I think we should be taking each other seriously right off the bat. And I feel like, I don't know if I'm connecting to this too much, but it's kind of like one of those moments where you're like, all right, this is calming down. This person is acting more the way they should, but then it's like the intrigue, and it could go business, it could go an employee thing, whatever it is that you're connecting to, you're like, you're not as intrigued as you were before. You're kind of like, almost like going through all that, and now it's all calm. It's like, why did we even go through that? If it's going to be a job thing, it's almost like somebody's putting you through the ringer to try to get a promotion, and then when you find out what it really entails, you're just kind of like, why are we going through all this horse and pony dog show crap for just this? Like, it's not even that important. Like, there's a little raise here, a little bit of different responsibilities, but it's not worth all the hubbub. And I feel like that's where we're at. Like, whatever you're going through, you're like, I don't know, why are we doing all this? Because is it really worth all the hubbub? Hubbub. You know, hubbub. I'm just using that word. Now, this person is cycling through the court cards for swords. The only one they're missing is the knight, because they got the queen now. They literally take you seriously now. And they've got the spring autumn card, which is another reason I take this deck as more of an oracle deck. And that would be forces, I think that's wands usually. I don't know. I don't remember how they match them up. But they got that with the Oracle of Delphi, which is, the Oracle of Delphi is like prophetic, right? What I'm feeling with the two of these cards together, coming in with the Queen of Swords in the environment from this energy you're dealing with, is kind of like they're expecting a lot from you all of a sudden. And they're thinking like, this is just the beginning and this is something that's going to go to the end. They're seeming to like jump the gun really. They're seeming to jump the gun like they want you a part of things, whether it be romantic, employment, whatever it is you're getting involved with. Now all of a sudden they want you, and they're trying to be respectful. They're trying to convince you to be a part of whatever it is. So if it's dating, they want you to see them. They want to start dating you exclusively. If it's a work thing, they want to pull you in on this project, and they want to like. They're trying to get you tied into it though. They're trying to get you tied into a lot of different things so that you can't easily dismount from it or become a part. Take apart the situation. There seems to be all of a sudden a lot of intense conversations. I'm getting the King of Pentacles. There's a lot of court cards going on here. Because we had the Queen of Pentacles. Now we have the King of Pentacles. There's a lot of effort and a lot of work to say, like, this is why you should be here. This is how this would work for you. And I feel like somebody's trying to convince you, like, you have stability here. This is good for you. This makes sense for you. This will help you a lot and this and that and the other thing. I do feel you kind of grabbing into it, but I like this part about Pisces. You're always willing to think about other ways to do things. And that maybe, like your daydreaming ability, this is where it kicks in. It's kind of like, you might start looking at this and realizing, hey, this is true what they're saying, and I do feel like there's a lot to gain here, but you might also be like, you know what, I don't know if I want this much. Like, you're looking at it like, I can do it, but do I want it? And you're looking at it more going ahead. Like, in a month's time, how am I going to feel doing this? In 2 months' time, in 5 months' time, in a year's time. And I feel like the year is where it really gets you. You're like, if I'm doing this in a year, this is going the way we think. Do I like this or do I not like this? And you're taking it very seriously. Whether this is romance, a business situation, employment, whatever it is, whatever this opportunity is, I'm getting the Empress with the Ascension. And I can see the cards around here, by the way. So, just to be fair, I was wondering how this was going to work out, but now it makes sense to me. You are ascending. You're going forward with your own opportunity and not what's being offered to you. If it's a business thing, I feel like what you had to go through to get here, you didn't like, and it seems to sit with you. But you're like, yeah, but I can find this somewhere else. And I've decided now I will. I'll get this somewhere else because I don't want the people that are connected to this to still be the connection with this. If it's romance, same thing. Like, all right, I know what I want. And it's almost like you're clearer about, you know what, I want this type of person, but not with this type of trauma or this type of issues. Some of this isn't working for me. And I feel like when you're looking at this, you're like, if this is just the beginning and I'm already having doubts, I think I should go a different direction. I know what I want and this isn't it. Because I feel you're going to move on. I feel like you're slowly moving on, though. You're disconnecting, as what I'm getting. It doesn't seem like it's a done. It seems like you're talking it out to this person. You're not looking to be mean to anybody. I don't feel an angry bone in your body. It's just kind of like, okay, this helped me see what I really want and where I need to go. And it's not here. Whatever it is, employment, business, relationship, whatever it is. I feel somebody like making this last ditch effort to try to turn you around on this. They're giving you all these possibilities. They're trying to show you this treasure, like whatever they're a part of is the treasure, right? But the thing is with this card, you'll notice the treasure strewn all over the place. There may be a lot of value here, but it's hard to tell when it's a disarray all over the place. Either way, I'm getting this is too much of a mess. You don't want to have to clean it up and then enjoy it. So. And I feel like I didn't know this until I picked these up. I feel like they're making a last-ditch effort, trying to change your mind, trying to pull you towards them. Come with us. Go this way. We want to do this. Do this. You can do this with us. I'm getting you're going to walk away from this. Don't second-guess yourself on that. Because when this possibility moves on, business, relationship, whatever it is, it's truly done. Once it's done, it's done. There's no more... There's no going back and considering it later, is what I'm getting with the Six of Swords. They are saying this is judgment in your favor. That door being closed, business, relationship, whatever it is, that's judgment in your favor. It needs to move on. You need to center on something else. When that door has closed, it's a favor to you. In my own life, and I'm going to say this because I'm a Pisces, I've learned this the hard way. When the door closes, at the time it doesn't seem like you really want it closed. Then maybe a few years down the road, you're like, oh, thankfully that door closed. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't see it at the time. But looking where that person is now and where I am now, I'm really thankful that door closed. I'm just saying, you're going to see it probably in a few years. Try not to second guess yourself, because you might look back with the Eight of Cups and be a little bit like, oh, you know, maybe I was too harsh and I moved on from something I shouldn't have. I feel like the Three of Swords is like knowing you can't go back, you can't reverse it, you can't go back and remake the decision, you can't redecide, you can't go the other way now. But they're saying, no, this is good, this is judgment in your favor, because you may doubt it down the road, you may second guess it down the road, but they're saying, no, moving on from this is good, there's something better for you, this is not a match for you. And that's that. Good. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.